In this lesson, we're going to create a notification. A notification is that indication up in the top title bar of an Android screen that indicates to the user that something's happened, like a missed phone call or a download succeeded. Our app can actually put in notifications, and we can customize what they look like and how they sound and if they vibrate and if LED flashes and all sorts of good stuff like that. So we're going to use our login background service, and we're going to provide a notification as to when that service gets a result. That's kind of an unusual use of a notification, but we're familiar with the service. And the other thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at communicating with the UI from that background service using a static event. In our previous lesson, we did it through bindings. So this is kind of a little bit of a twofer because notifications are actually really easy and really quick to talk about. In our Android manifest, we're going to set the permission for vibrating. And that's only because in this sample, we're going to use a vibrate on the notification. If we didn't use that, we wouldn't have to check this permission. In the activity, we still have our username and password and our start button. And in our onResume, we're hooking the login result received event from our service. And on pause, we're no longer interested in the event, so we just remove it. Our start button starts the service. So no real surprises there. And then finally, our login result received event, on the UI thread, we create a notification. Now this is one way of getting back and communicating with the UI from a background thread. Anytime I update a UI widget and the information is coming from a background thread, I can call run on UI thread. So now we've seen handlers, we've been seeing intent services, and we've seen bindings, and now we've seen run on UI thread. So there's a few ways of getting back to the UI. And now let's take a look at create notification. The first thing we do is we create a notification manager, and we do that by getting a system service, which is a notification service, and we cast it as a notification manager. We create a new notification, and there are two parts to that. The first is the icon, and then there's the ticker text, which is the text that's shown up in the title bar area of the operating system. In this case, we're going to use the symbol for an incoming call, and that's not really appropriate for a login service, but it's a standard Android drawable. You can use any drawable that you like for this notification. We're going to set it on vibrate, and this is our vibration pattern. You can see that it's going to go for 100, then 200, and then 300. So it gets a little bit more urgent as it goes along. There's going to be two notifications associated with it. We're going to turn LEDs on and off. So there's going to be flashing and vibration and all sorts of good stuff. You can also play sound with this as well. So this is our intent, which is our activity. And we create a pending intent. And update our current flags. And then we set our notification info. So we're going to set that our login received, and the longer message will say the login result was received. And we pass that in with our pending intent. And finally, we call notify. So that's all there is to showing a notification. Now let's take a quick look at that event service. And we're still using an intent service, so we're on background thread. This is all the same where we get the login. And then all we're doing is firing an event. And there's only one thing that's interesting about that event, is that it's a static event. It's a static event so that our activity doesn't actually have to know anything about the instance of the intent service. So if we take a look at where the event was hooked, we don't have an instance, we're just doing it as a static event. So that's the only real subtlety to this. Otherwise, it's fairly straightforward .NET eventing. And we'll give it a run so you can see the notifications. So we'll run our service. And there's our notification. And you can see it flops up the little ticker, and then it gives our incoming phone symbol. I can go to the home screen at this point, and I can pull down the notification, and you can see our title and description. And if I click this, it'll take me back to my activity. And that's what that pending intent portion of the notification code was. So when you click the notification, you're telling it what to go back to. So that's how to show a notification, and a little bit more with how to communicate with the UI from a background service.